My beloved child, listen closely, for what I am about to reveal carries weight in the unseen world, and it presses upon your heart because the spiritual realm is moving around your life in ways you have not yet understood. You will not believe what your son did just half an hour ago. He shamelessly killed his own blessing, the very blessing I placed in his hands, the blessing meant to lift him, guide him, and protect him. And I need to talk to you about it, because the shock that enters your spirit when you hear these words is not confusion, it is divine awareness waking up inside you. Your son stood at a crossroads he never acknowledged. He was offered a moment that could have changed the entire direction of his destiny. I placed clarity in front of him, I placed wisdom near him, I placed conviction around him, whispering to him to choose life, to choose truth, to choose the path that would lead him toward growth and peace. But instead, in a moment of frustration, in a moment of weakness, in a moment he thought no one saw, he killed the very seed of breakthrough I planted within him. He did not kill a person. He did not harm another life. But he harmed his own future by his own hands. He crushed the opportunity one gave him. He walked away from the door I had opened. He silenced the conviction I placed in his spirit. He threw away the very thing he had been praying for, the chance to become better, stronger, wiser, more aligned with the purpose written over him since birth. Half an hour ago, he made a decision in his heart that you have not yet seen in the physical. He buried a blessing that was meant to elevate him. He suffocated the voice inside him that tried to call him higher. He destroyed a moment that was supposed to redirect his entire life. And though you cannot see the evidence yet, the spiritual atmosphere around him shifted instantly. But hear me, I am not a God who exposes without purpose. I am a God who reveals so healing can begin. You feel the weight in your chest right now because I am allowing you to sense what I sense, not to condemn him, but to understand what must happen next. That decision he made, that internal act of killing his own blessing, was not an isolated moment. It was the result of months of pressure, confusion, fear, and the silent battles he has been fighting. He is not rebelling against you. He is not turning against love. He is not choosing destruction because he hates the light. He is doing it because he does not know how to stand under the heaviness he carries. He is overwhelmed. He is tired. He is afraid of disappointing you. And even more afraid of disappointing himself. Half an hour ago, when he threw away that opportunity, he thought he was protecting his pride. He thought he was saving himself from failure. He thought he was choosing the easier path. But the truth is, he killed something sacred within him, the momentum I had been building, the whisper of destiny that had been calling him, the direction that would have set him free. I saw him try to convince himself that he was fine. I saw him try to bury the guilt quickly. I saw him push down the feeling that told him he made the wrong choice. He tried to drown out my voice with noise, distraction, and false confidence. But my voice continues to echo inside him, because I have not abandoned him, and I have not abandoned the blessing he destroyed. Listen to me, a destroyed blessing is not a dead destiny. A crushed opportunity is not the end of my plan. A moment of weakness does not cancel a lifetime of purpose. You are worried right now because somewhere in your spirit, you can sense something shifted. You have been feeling a strange heaviness today, a spiritual tension you could not explain. That is because your soul is connected to His in ways that go beyond blood. You feel what He cannot express. You sense what He tries to hide. You carry burdens for Him that He does not even know how to carry Himself. And I am speaking to you now because He cannot hear me clearly, but you can. I am preparing you. I am strengthening you. I am awakening you to the truth behind the behavior, behind the silence, behind the frustration, behind the confusion. This is not a season of punishment. This is a season of unveiling. I am showing you what is happening not so you may fear, but so you may stand firm in prayer, in love, and in divine understanding. Your son is not lost, he is simply misaligned. He is not hardened, he is hurting. He is not rebellious, he is overwhelmed. He did not kill his blessing out of evil, he killed it out of fear. Fear of stepping into responsibility. Fear of embracing growth. Fear of failing after trying. Fear of disappointing those who believe in him. Fear of believing that he is worthy of what I promised him. Half an hour ago, when he made that decision, heaven felt the tremor of it. Not because he ruined his future, but because a battle in the unseen realm escalated. Darkness celebrated for a moment, thinking it had stolen a victory. Thinking it had silenced the potential I placed within him. Thinking it had discouraged his spirit to the point of collapse. But darkness celebrated too early. Because the moment he killed that blessing, I began preparing a resurrection. You are listening to these words right now because you are a part of that resurrection. I am stirring something inside you. Not anger, not disappointment, but a divine awareness that says, something is off, something is wrong, something is shifting. You are feeling it because you are meant to carry the mantle of guidance, not through control, not through pressure, but through spiritual authority and intercession. I am calling you, my child, to stand in the gap for him. He cannot see the battle he is in. He cannot see the spiritual forces pulling at his hope. He cannot see that the enemy is trying to exhaust him with thoughts of inadequacy. He cannot see that every step he takes right now feels heavier because his destiny is greater than he realizes. But you see. You sense. You know. And so I am speaking to you now, gently but firmly, because the enemy wants you to react with fear. The enemy wants you to panic. The enemy wants you to believe that he is lost for good. The enemy wants you to assume that his mistake is final. But I, the Lord who formed him, shaped him, breathed purpose into him, am telling you this: what he killed, I can restore. What he wasted, I can rebuild. What he rejected, I can return stronger. I am not done with him. And I am not done with you. Half an hour ago, he made a decision that seemed like an ending, but in my kingdom, endings become turning points. Destruction becomes awakening. Collapse becomes clarity. And what looks dead becomes the soil where something greater begins to grow. Your job right now is not to judge him. Your job is not to confront him in anger. Your job is not to remind him of his mistake. Your job is to stand in faith. To hold the spiritual ground he is losing. To pray with authority, not fear. To speak life where he has spoken defeat. To believe in him when he does not believe in himself. Because even though he killed his blessing today, I am preparing to give him another chance, a bigger chance, a more transformative chance. But before I release it, I must mend his spirit, and I will use you as part of that healing. You feel my presence right now because this is not information, this is an assignment. You have been chosen to guard his destiny. And even though he made a choice that broke the spiritual momentum around him, your faith can rebuild what he has torn down. Your prayers can push back the shadows that pressed on him today. Your love can become the bridge that brings him back to me. This is not the end. This is a beginning. What he killed was only a seed. And I am the God who brings gardens out of barren ground. My child, now that you understand what happened half an hour ago, I need to take you deeper into the spiritual layers behind it, because this moment is not random, and it is not small. What your son killed inside himself was not merely a blessing, it was a moment of awakening I had carefully prepared, a moment designed to shift him into a new season. And I want you to feel the full truth of this, not so fear rises within you, but so faith becomes stronger than it has ever been. When he made that internal decision, that quiet, unseen choice that buried the gift I placed before him, heaven did not turn away from him. I did not withdraw my hand. Instead, I allowed the weight of his decision to vibrate through the spiritual atmosphere so that you would sense it, so that you would rise as the intercessor he desperately needs, so that you would not sit in silence while his destiny is being contended for. You must understand something very important. Children often kill their blessings before they realize a blessing was even present. They crush opportunities not because they are evil, but because they are afraid to rise into who they are becoming. Your son has reached a stage where he is wrestling with purpose, identity, and self-worth. He does not feel ready for the greatness I see in him. He is terrified of stepping into responsibility because deep inside, he doubts that he is worthy of anything more than what life has already given him. Half an hour ago, when he rejected that blessing. Half an hour ago, when he buried that divine seed. Half an hour ago, when he shut the door on what I was bringing toward him, he acted from a place of fear, and fear is the greatest killer of divine opportunities. But hear me, fear does not win unless you allow it to remain unchallenged. That is why I am stirring you so intensely. That is why your heart cannot rest. That is why you are listening to these words as if your soul itself is leaning forward. You are not just a parent. You are a spiritual pillar in his life. I placed that authority in you so that when he falls spiritually, you would be able to rise on his behalf. He does not know how to pray through this moment, but you do. He does not know how to fight this battle, but you can. He does not know how to stand after breaking something important, but you are his bridge back to me. I tell you this with love, the blessing he killed today was not the last blessing I intend to give him. But I needed you to know, so you could understand the urgency of what is happening in his soul. You have been sensing for weeks that something is not right. His spirit has been quieter. His motivation has been fading. His hope has been thinning out like smoke. And today, that inner struggle became visible in the spiritual realm. I am telling you this because he is close to a turning point, the kind of turning point that will shape the next years of his life. He is being pulled in two spiritual directions. One direction calls him forward, toward growth, discipline, purpose, transformation. The other direction pulls him downward, into self-doubt, avoidance, numbness, and emotional withdrawal. Half an hour ago, he chose the downward direction, but that choice does not have to become his future. Because you are about to step into your divine role as the one who helps lift him again. He needs someone who sees him beyond his mistakes. He needs someone who believes in the greatness he has not yet awakened to. He needs someone who understands that his behavior is not rebellion, it is pain. He needs someone who knows the difference between his actions and his identity. You see his frustration. I see his heart. You see his silence. I see his inner cries. You see his laziness. I see his exhaustion. You see his wrong choices. I see the spiritual warfare pressing against him, trying to suffocate the potential he doesn't yet recognize. That is why I came to you. That is why I am speaking with urgency wrapped in tenderness. That is why you feel this divine heaviness settling into your spirit like a mantle. You are being called to stand between what your son destroyed and what I am about to resurrect. My child, listen closely. There is a purpose on your son's life that darkness has been fighting since he was young. He carries a calling that is bigger than the environment he grew up in. He carries a destiny that threatens the kingdom of darkness. He carries a spiritual authority he has not yet stepped into. And this is why every time he gets close to breakthrough, the enemy pushes him toward self-sabotage. Today's moment, that moment half an hour ago, was not random. It was a strategy formed in the unseen realm. The enemy whispered to him that giving up was safer than trying. The enemy convinced him that burying his blessing was better than facing the fear of failure. The enemy fed him thoughts that told him he wasn't capable, wasn't strong enough, wasn't smart enough, wasn't ready. Those thoughts did not come from him, they came from an assignment against his identity. But let me tell you something the enemy always forgets: you cannot kill what I have ordained. You cannot bury what I intend to resurrect. You cannot destroy a destiny I have sealed with my hand. The blessing may have been crushed today, but the purpose behind that blessing remains untouched. The opportunity may have been lost, but the future I have designed for him stands firm. What he killed was not my plan, only a moment within the plan. And I will give him another moment, a better one, a stronger one, a moment where he will not stand alone, because by then you will have prepared the spiritual ground for him. Yes, my child. You are the one I am equipping right now. But before you begin, you must release the fear that is trying to cling to you. Fear will whisper that he is too far gone. Fear will whisper that this moment defines him. Fear will whisper that he is slipping away. Fear will whisper that you failed as a parent. Fear will whisper that things won't get better. Fear is lying to you. Your son is not slipping away, he is being called back. He is not lost, he is being found. He is not destroying his future, he is struggling to see it. He is not rejecting me, he is battling a war inside himself. And I am sending you into that war, not unprepared, but armed with divine insight, divine strength, and divine wisdom. Hear me, in the coming days, you will see signs that his heart is softening. You will see moments where he becomes quieter, moments where he looks distant, moments where he seems unsure of himself. Do not misunderstand these moments, they are signs that conviction is awakening inside him. He will feel the spiritual consequences of what he did today, not to punish him, but to awaken him. And when he begins to feel that weight, when he senses that something is off within him, when he starts to question the decision he made, when he begins to realize that he acted too quickly, your voice, your presence, and your prayers will become the lifeline that guides him back. Do not confront him with anger, confront him with stability. Do not shame him, speak to the strength within him. Do not remind him of what he destroyed, remind him of what still remains. Do not talk to him from fear, talk to him from trust. Because your trust in him will help him trust himself again. You must also understand this. A child often kills a blessing because they are afraid of responsibility. But when someone steps alongside them with patience, gentleness, and divine guidance, they begin to realize that the blessing was never too heavy, they simply needed support. Your son needs support right now, not punishment. He needs hope, not pressure. He needs direction, not disappointment. He needs someone who sees the man he will become, not the mistake he made today. And I chose you for this role because you carry a strength even you have not fully recognized yet. You think your love for him is normal, but it is not. It is supernatural. I placed a divine compassion inside you that makes you see the good in him even when he hides it. That love is not weakness, it is your weapon. When he killed his blessing half an hour ago, you felt something shift within you, and that feeling was not fear, it was signal. I allowed your spirit to feel the disturbance because I am calling you to stand as the one who intercedes, the one who fights through prayer, the one who guards the destiny of her child with faith that cannot be shaken. You have felt spiritually heavier lately because I have been preparing you. You have felt moments of sudden sadness without explanation because you were sensing his internal struggle. You have felt moments of quietness because I was making room in your spirit for this assignment. You have felt more emotional than usual because the spiritual realm has been stirring, aligning, shifting around your son. Now hear my promise: what he killed, I will restore. What he buried, I will resurrect. What he rejected, I will reoffer in a new form. What he lost, I will replace with something greater. And you, my chosen one, will stand beside him as the restoration unfolds. This is not the end of the story. This is the turning of a page. My child, now that your spirit is awake and your heart is steady, I need to take you into the deepest layer of this revelation, the part where restoration begins, the part where hope rises again, the part where what your son killed begins to stir beneath the soil of his soul. Because my work in him is not finished. My hand over him is not withdrawn. My promise to him is not broken. And my vision of his future has not changed because of one moment, one choice, one emotional collapse that happened half an hour ago. You have to understand that the blessing he killed was not meant to be the final blessing, it was meant to be the awakening blessing. It was the seed meant to shake him, challenge him, shape him, and prepare him for the greater things that I am still forming in the unseen. And sometimes, my child, people cannot value the blessing that awakens them until they lose it. Your son is entering that awakening now. He is beginning to feel the inner emptiness that comes from killing his own blessing. He is beginning to sense the quiet space where my voice once whispered direction. He is beginning to notice the shift inside him, the sudden lack of clarity, the lack of peace, the lack of motivation. He may not understand it in words, but his spirit is already aware that something sacred was mishandled. And this awareness is not punishment, it is my mercy pulling him back into alignment. You are going to notice changes in him soon. He may withdraw. He may become quiet. He may seem strangely emotional at unexpected moments. He may act like something is bothering him, even if he cannot say what it is. Do not be alarmed when this happens. Do not try to force him to speak. Do not demand an explanation. These are signs that my conviction is reaching him. Conviction is not shame. Conviction is not guilt. Conviction is not condemnation. Conviction is the gentle hand of heaven tapping on the door of the heart. It is the inner tug that pulls him toward truth. It is the soft pressure that reminds him he was made for more. It is the spiritual magnet inside him pulling him back to the path he stepped away from. Your son will feel this. And when he does, he will look around for a safe place to land. He will look for a voice that will not judge him. He will look for someone who sees his heart, not just his mistake. He will look for someone who believes in him more deeply than he believes in himself. And that, my beloved child, is where you step in. Do not underestimate your role. Do not minimize your voice. Do not think your presence is ordinary. I placed you in his life not just to raise him, but to be a divine anchor when his spirit drifts. Your son is not evil. He is not rebellious. He is not ungrateful. He is not careless. He is wounded inside in ways he does not know how to express. He is carrying expectations he does not know how to meet. He is carrying fears he does not know how to confront. He is carrying pressure that feels heavier than the world around him understands. He did not kill his blessing out of cruelty. He killed it because he does not yet know how to nurture the greatness inside him. He feels small. He feels inadequate. He feels like every step forward demands more strength than he has. He feels like success is a mountain too high. He feels like one mistake means the end. And so he crushed the blessing I gave him, not because he hated it, but because he feared he could not rise to meet it. But in my love, I am going to show him that he is capable of far more than he thinks. I am going to show him that he is stronger than his fears. I am going to show him that he is wiser than he realizes. I am going to show him that he is not alone, not abandoned, not forgotten. I am going to show him that what he killed today will not define tomorrow. And I will use you to help guide him into that truth. Listen closely. What happens next will require patience and spiritual sensitivity from you. There will come a moment, quietly, unexpectedly, when he opens up in a small way. Perhaps with one sentence. Perhaps with a look in his eyes. Perhaps with a sigh that carries more emotion than words ever could. Perhaps with a sudden vulnerability he usually hides. When that moment comes, do not speak too loudly. Do not lecture. Do not push. Do not overwhelm. Meet his softness with softness. Meet his honesty with safety. Meet his struggle with compassion. Because when you meet him with gentleness, you allow my presence to move through your voice. He will not tell you everything at once, but he will still reveal more than he planned. His spirit will feel drawn to you because he senses the peace I have placed upon you. He will feel safe because your response will not be rooted in fear, but in faith. And when he begins to open, even slightly, that is the moment when resurrection begins. You see, my child, resurrection does not look dramatic at first. It looks like a spark. It looks like a quiet shift. It looks like humility forming inside the heart. It looks like longing awakening again. It looks like someone realizing they want to grow, they want to do better, they want to rise, they want to break old patterns. When your son reaches that stage, he will begin to realize that the blessing he killed half an hour ago was not the end of anything, it was the beginning of a deeper hunger for purpose. And that hunger is exactly what I need. Because the next blessing I prepare for him will require maturity, insight, and humility, qualities that are ignited through inner struggle. What he lost will make him appreciate what is coming. What he killed will make him fight harder for what I will give next. What he buried will make him recognize the value of my voice when I whisper again. The enemy thought that moment half an hour ago ended something, but in my kingdom, it started something greater. You will also notice something else. He will begin to observe you more closely. He will watch how you carry yourself. He will watch how you react to his moods. He will watch whether you get frustrated or stay calm. He will watch whether you judge him or remain patient. He will watch whether you believe he can change, or whether you assume he never will. Because your response will become the model for how he responds to himself. If you treat him with gentleness, he will eventually treat himself with gentleness. If you speak life into him, he will learn to speak life into himself. If you remain steady, he will realize he is not too broken to stand. If you believe in him, he will slowly begin to believe in himself. This is why I am preparing you, not him. Because your attitude will shape the soil where his resurrection takes root. Do not fear what he killed today. Do not fear what he lost. Do not fear the moment that broke your heart. Do not fear the choice he made in confusion. I am the God who turns dead soil into living ground. And hear me, this is my promise, sealed with divine certainty, your son will rise again. Your son will realign. Your son will regain what he threw away. Your son will mature. Your son will wake up spiritually. Your son will step into the destiny that has been written for him since the day he entered this world. This fall is not final. This mistake is not permanent. This moment is not the definition of his life story. It is simply the scene before transformation begins. He killed his blessing, yes. But he did not kill his calling. He did not kill my plan. He did not kill my love for him. He did not kill the purpose I carved into his soul before time began. And my child, I need you to believe this as deeply as I do, he will rise from this. He will heal from this. He will learn from this. He will become stronger because of this. He will look back one day and say, "That moment changed me." But today he needs someone to stand for him while he cannot stand for himself. And that someone is you. I am with you as you step into this role. I am guiding you, strengthening you, covering you. I am pouring wisdom into your spirit. I am filling your heart with supernatural peace. I am positioning people, opportunities, and conversations around you to support this journey. Nothing is random. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is beyond my reach. Half an hour ago, something fell. But right now, something is rising. And soon, very soon, you will see your son walk into a version of himself that even he cannot imagine. I am not done. You are not done. And he is not done.